In innovation, there's always this engineering context, and this is what I don't. That's why I don't like the word innovation that much, and because it's more about than just being able to build a system. It's also moving forward as a society, which is something that people lose track of when they build technological systems, in my opinion. Many people talk about explainable AI and ethics in AI, but I think we are losing one essential feature, which is social AI. And what do I mean by social AI? I mean the fact that we live in a society. We are interacting and we use norms to make decisions. And I went looking on the net like, okay, how should I best explain this? And I found a very nice article by a lady called Hatfield, I've got the exact name. But she was saying what we need next to smart systems is also wise systems. And wise systems would in the end be able to understand that there are certain norms that you have to follow. And she gave a very nice example which she attributed to somebody else, I don't know the name anymore. But she was saying it's like knowing that a tomato is a fruit, but you never put a tomato in a fruit salad, right? Because the norm does not allow you to do this. But it could be another part of the world, there is a norm that you can put a tomato in the fruit salad. So this idea of adapting yourself to the social circumstances in which you find yourself in is something that you don't see very much yet in the entire hype around AI. You see people saying, how we build a system that is smarter than a human in playing the game Go, or we can better recognize cats or separate cats from dogs, or we can drive a car with much more safely, but you lose the social dynamic of this story. And that's why I think if we really want to make a breakthrough, AI should become a social thing, and meaning that it has to be able to recognize norms, how to behave in certain normative contexts and things like that. A second part, which I think is very important, is that learning is cultural. And this again is something that's forgotten in AI. Humans built their knowledge based on expertise from before. Einstein could not develop his theory if he did not have all the information from before. Darwin was also basing himself on his grandfather, who was also already thinking about the idea of evolution and how humans could have evolved from other species. And the fact that AIs are always built like from scratch, this system has to learn everything. There's no cultural learning effect there, is something that is really missing. And I think it becomes now time to start asking, okay, if we build an AI system, shouldn't it not be like building on top of the expertise of other AI systems and build like a cultural repository which is generated by an AI system and not simply be uniquely defined on one track. There's many people working on this. There's some very famous people who have been working on this. I just only started in that area, but there's people already thinking about how can a system be trustworthy and how can you make sure that it behaves in the correct manner. And to give you the stupidest example, you have eBay, right? eBay before did not have the star system that you could give it reputation to people working in that system. It didn't take off. Only when they introduced the star-based system, the system suddenly became useful because people could say, that's a good buyer, that's a good seller, so you could assign reputation. And this is something logical if we think about it, because we do this continuously in society. Is somebody I trust because my previous interactions or other people's previous interactions were good with this person. And this is what we need to think about. Our technology should be an extension of our social skills, not a limitation or changing our social skills. It should be part of what we already know, because you have so many years of evolution that developed how we behave and how we think is best to behave in a society. That should not be forgotten. Yeah. Now people are mostly focusing on the data aspect, and they're claiming that everything will be solved by just analyzing the patterns. But this is not true. I'm reading actually a very good book now at the moment, which is called The Book of Why. It's by Judea Pearl. It's with a guy who actually talks about causal inference, and he's actually saying this is not the future because the patterns cannot explain the why. You need to have models to explain the why, or you need to have reasoning to explain the why. And I think we are moving gradually back. I'm not sure at what speed, because now companies are demanding to have access to all the tools that simply do pattern analysis. But research-wise, we are moving more and more back to the adding the why to what we see in the data and to explain what's going on. And then you come again to explainable AI, but it's obvious because you need to be able to tell why a decision is being made.